She wants to feel she still has a link with them, a contact with them, helping as much as she can, because she can, from the spirit world, even though they may not realize it. She can still help them. But if all the family are there as a family unit and there's nobody else, then they move on. Not necessarily as a group, but they wish to progress. And I know that my grandmother, one of my grandmothers on my father's side, came back to the circle on one occasion only, and I was told that she had come back from a long, long way. She'd made a very special effort just to come back and see me and meet me like Grandad did, because, again, I hadn't met her, not here.
So you were particularly honoured on that occasion.
Absolutely.
That she made that journey.
She made that journey specially.
So, Tom, what would your message be to people that are perhaps bereaved or that have lost loved ones, that haven't had the benefit of this wonderful experience that you've had?
Simple message is, of course, A, you cannot replace the physical loss. That's the first thing. I have had the bereavement of my first wife and of my own mother and of my parents. Big losses. I understand the physical loss, and there are times when I've cried, many times, because of the physical loss. But let me impress on them that those people are still alive, still around them, still wanting to help them. And it isn't a question of we want to bring them back. No way. They want to come and talk to us. Here you have standing in front of you, shaking hands with you, embracing people that you knew. Here, they're the same people that you knew. That is great evidence. And I'm delighted that over the past 2 or 3 years, there's a resurgence. It is coming back. And there are more home circles developing and coming along with things like trumpet phenomena and materialization, hopefully, in the future. Yes, it's, to me, the people who've lost somebody, don't grieve. Grieving only stops your spirit friends and your relative from progressing. It upsets them. Think of them as having just lost a body, and often losing a body which is racked with pain, which is useless. Well, is it not better that they've lost that body, free from that pain, and are living in a spirit world which is light, which is happy? And which presumably they will join them in due course. In due course. That's right. Tom, thank you very much indeed for that message of encouragement and hope. Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you.
Another incredible story of materialization, which should bring great comfort and warmth to anybody that's bereaved, and in particular somebody that has actually lost a child, comes from Elf and Gwen Byrne, who lost their son Russell when he was 9 years of age. I'll let Gwen tell her own story. Gwen, thank you for inviting me to your home today, and what an amazing story you have to tell. It's all contained in your own book, Russell, but in your own words, how did it all begin?
Well, it began in 1963, 14th of August. Russell suddenly passed on with cancer in just a few weeks. And naturally we were devastated, having lost my parents as well at the same time. So after a few months I decided to look into life after death. So I began to search through clairvoyant mediums first. And I did this right up till maybe 1968, 69 roughly.
Did you have a belief in the afterlife?
I didn't know anything about the afterlife at all. I didn't even know the word medium, psychic, anything like that. I had no knowledge of anything. I was brought up without any religion of any kind, I'm pleased to say. And I searched, and after about 5 years I was sure, yes, there was a spirit world. And so I just got on with my life. The other children were there and had to be looked after, you know, and carried on living. And then the most wonderful thing happened on the 14th of August, 82. I mean, you have to get the exact story from Alf because he was here when the phone call came. I was at Stansted Hall when the phone call came to say that Russell had come through at a physical phenomena circle and could he speak to his mum and dad.
So some way away from
Yes, oh, about maybe 2 hours away, maybe more, depending on traffic. And so we couldn't go till the following Saturday.
Did you know these people from whom the message came?
No.
So you didn't know anything about it?
No, and I heard of them briefly, but that's all.
So Russell actually gave the information
Yes, he gave
himself
yeah.
through the medium that
Yes.
somebody else took down?
Yes,
presumably?
a newspaper reporter from Psychic News.
Really?
And he rang Alf.
Yes. Right.
And that was right on his anniversary, 19th anniversary of his passing.
Good heavens. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave the telephone, your telephone number,
Yes,
to the reporter.
yes.
And this was some 300 miles away from
Yes.
where you were.
Said, could he speak to Mum and Dad?
Good heavens. What happened then?
Well, we dashed up there the following Saturday and we met the lovely people, invited us in, and I mean, we'd never been to anything like this before. And before we knew where we were sitting in this room, dark room of course, and they were using a trumpet at that time. And he just came towards us, the trumpet, and said, hello Mum, hello Dad. I forget the exact words, you know, right now at this moment, but he began to sing to both of us, and he sang Where is Love from Oliver.
Gwen, can I just stop you there, because I think people might be slightly confused when we talk about a trumpet. A trumpet is something that's used at these sittings,
Yes.
so that the voice can be carried, is that right?
That's right, yes. A bit like we use microphones in this world. It's similar, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And he began to sing to us. And
You
he
couldn't
also...
see anything at this stage?
Pardon?
You didn't see
No, we
anything at
didn't
this
see. That was the very early stages before the actual independent voice came in. This was trumpet phenomena. And he also gave us a piece of a willow tree. I don't know whether it was our willow tree or anybody else's, but he apported a piece of willow tree about that big.
And that was a physical thing?
Yes, that was the first apport that we had. And I've still got it actually, but it's a bit tatty now. And he sung, I mean, there's a line in the song, is it, underneath the willow tree? You know, so everybody knows this song.
How did the piece of willow materialise? How did it come to you?
Well, it just, I mean, at the time, we didn't know, it just landed on my lap. That's for you, Mum, he said. And then the whole evening went on. The newspaper reporter was there that evening. And from then on, we went regularly. And it went on from trumpet phenomena to independent voice. And this wonderful scenes of energy that just splashed around the room. Amazing energy.
Now, that's a very interesting point, Gwen, from where this video is concerned. We're very interested in the energy and in scientific explanations for the energy. How did you see the energy? How did it manifest?
Well, it's a bit, the only way I could describe it is a bit like lightning, only no noise, just like flashes. Amazing. And there they are standing there.
So then you had real forms.
And it's so quick, you see. I mean, it's like this almost, a flash of energy, and you see the forms standing there. But this went on for, we went for years. Sometimes I stayed for a week, and there'd be sittings every evening. And then Alf would come up of a weekend, and it graduated into independent voice, where the voices would come just almost out of the ceiling.
So actually this was, as you were going up on a fairly regular basis, so the sort of strength of the sitting and the strength of the medium was increasing.
Oh, amazing.
So you were getting a stronger phenomena every time that you went there.
Yes, amazing. And then, of course, then we had the apport of the Pink Panther.